I'm Jordan, and you're watching Fixbook. So today, I'm going to be showing you how to replace your starter and your Dodge Neon. This one's a 99. Okay guys, and for today's project, I used a long 3/8 ratchet, a regular 3/8 ratchet. We have an 11, 15, 12, 13, 10, and deep well 13, and about a 4, I guess it's a 4 or 5 inch extension there. And yeah, with all that said, we'll go ahead and begin today's project. Okay guys, so here we are, and before we get started, I'll let you know they say this takes a do-it-yourselfer about an hour to perform this project. Now, the first thing we're going to want to do is, you can see I've got my battery out. I use a 12mm on this nut and a 13mm to get this negative cable off. Once you loosen up those nuts, you're just going to wiggle it, pull it off each post. Then you will pick up on the battery and set them off here to the side. The next thing you need to do is get this battery tray out of your way. And basically we have 3 13mm bolts. You got one sitting right in here. You've got one where you'll take an extension and get down in there. And then I'll get my flashlight so you can see that. Okay guys, and hopefully you can see a little better. Right where my finger's at, there's another 13mm bolt sitting there, and then maybe you can see a little better now. There's the other one I was talking about, and then of course the one sitting down in there as well. So once you've removed those 3 13mm bolts, you'll be able to pull up on this guy, and you'll have to kind of get your wires out of the way. And let's see if I can do this one-handed, and I can. So now we got this tray our way, and we'll set him off to the side. The next thing we need to do is, we've got this radiator fan sitting right here, and basically he's plugged up. He's plugged up right here, and it looks like somebody broke the piece off here, so mine just kind of slid off, and I guess I'll just slide it back on. And then we have a 10mm here and a 10mm here. It'll be bolted up here. You're going to unbolt these guys, and then once you do that, this guy just pulls up and out of your way. So now we'll set this fan off to the side, and now we've got a clear area where we can look into and where we can really start on removing the starter here. So we'll see what's next here in just a moment. Okay guys, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to break loose and remove our bolts here. We've got a 15mm bolt sitting right here. Hopefully, yeah, you can see him now. It's a 15mm bolt. That's the easy one to get to. And generally, you want to do your harder ones first. And now you can see I've got the socket on that other 15mm bolt. So once I get both these bolts removed, I will show you the technique that you'll want to use to remove both those guys. And also guys, we got 2 wires sitting on the starter there, and one's going to be a nut on the end, and the other one's probably going to be a pull and unplug. So we're going to get working on getting those wires off when we unbolt the 2 bolts there, because it's really in a tough spot to try and take them off there. So we're going to do our bolts, and then we'll worry about those wires. So we'll see it here in just a moment. Okay guys, now the best way I found to get to this lower bolt, you can see my ratchet there with an extension. It's about 4 or 6 inch extension. You can see he's on the bolt now. The best way I was able to find and see that bolt was I went below. If you can imagine, I stuck my head completely under here, and I was looking up that way, and I didn't even have to lift the car up, but I was able to see that bolt from down here. And then you can see I've got my ratchet up in there, and it gives you a lot of room to ratchet back and forth. So let's see, I don't know if I'll be able to get it with the camera or not. Yeah, see, so I'm just gonna take them off, and you can see the bolt there. So yeah, you got a lot of room here underneath, and then that other one is really easy to get to, you know, once we've removed all the stuff. It's just sitting right there. So go ahead and remove that lower bolt. I'll remove the top bolt, and then we'll see where I'm at here in just a moment. Okay guys, so the next thing you want to do here is, you can see I've already got my starter out, but the easiest way to get to your little nuts right here is, what you'll want to do is take this fan out too. Basically you just reach down, and this one did have the squeeze part, it wasn't broken, it still had that on there, so I squeeze and pull out on that connector, and then you don't have to remove this coolant hose. All I did was I took my left hand and I pulled up on it. I'll show you about how much, about right like that is how much I was pulling on it. And then you'll grab this piece with your hand, and again, 2 10mm bolts right there, and it just comes right out. So I was lifting, and then you just wiggle, and you wiggle them on out here. And I did it with my starter in the way, so as long as you still have your starter left and hooked up, you should have plenty of room to just pull that guy right out. And then we'll be able to turn our alternator up so we can see those nuts. So I told you there's a connector on one of these, but it's actually both 2 nuts there. So we'll see that here in just a moment when we get that guy hooked up or removed all the way. Okay guys, once you've got your 2 nuts off there, one was an 11 and one was a 13, you just pick up on and pick them out and set them off to the side. That's it. That's a pretty simple procedure. Now, the next thing you'll want to do is check your new starter and compare it to your old starter. I noticed my new starter has a place for a plug-in and my old starter does not. So that could be a problem for me, but that's may not be a problem for you. But as far as installation goes, it's pretty much the reverse of the removal, and if I run into any trouble, I'll come back and give you some sort of strategy to help you put that thing back in. But if not, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time. Okay guys, now I came across 2 things when putting it back together that may help you out a little bit. I noticed that I was able to get to the bolt going in this way on the bottom from up top with this fan removed. So you may not have to go underneath when you take this off to begin with. Also, before you put your fans back in, make sure that wiring harness that's got your connector for this fan and that fan, make sure it's kind of backing out of your way, so when you slip it down, you're not looking for your connector. You can just reach back there and grab your connector. So just make sure those 2 connectors are out of your way when you're slipping your fans back on. And other than that, it's pretty simple going back together, and it's not that difficult of a project. So again guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey, thanks for watching guys. If you would like, subscribe, comment, and all that fun stuff. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.